Okay, welcome to the Go High Level Meetup Group here at Creative Locale, which is first time we've met here. My name is Anthony Pritchard. I'll be your host today. Thanks for attending. This is the meetup group for people in technology and marketing who are looking to leverage the power of automated marketing using the high-level SaaS product. This is such a widely accepted software because it allows for your marketing team to actually leverage every possible method of communication online and hopefully create more offline connections. This group is for anybody working in sales, really. Sales is becoming less a proactive approach and more of a reactive approach. And this powerful tool allows you to be responsive when somebody reaches out for you and looks for what you're offering. It also allows you to offer things in a direct response type of a way that prevents any wasted effort or energy or money. When somebody is interested or attracted to your offer, you want to make sure that you have methods of nurturing those people, because the hardest part in marketing is finding people who are actually interested in what you're selling. And when they've indicated that your product or your service is somewhere inside of their realm of interest or attraction, then you want to give them what they want. I mean, the internet has really conditioned people to expect that they're going to get what they want right away. And if they're not ready to buy right away, you want to be able to continue to communicate with these people, whether it be through email, through text message, or through online display marketing and email. You know, even any outreach with audio. Automated phone calls are becoming more and more of a thing. I just got one today that wasn't half bad, actually. And unfortunately, I didn't have a roof for this individual to come inspect. But, you know, businesses that have high ticket items like roofing are leveraging this to help to eliminate waste in their sales department. So this meeting is all about automated booking calendars, and I'm going to give a brief overview of what you'll be expecting to get out of this meeting, and then my partner, Paratosh Parikh, will step in to do a real-life case study and show you some of the inner workings of the high-level dashboard so that you can actually apply this yourself if you have that tool implemented. So our agenda for today is to go over what is Go High Level if you have not heard of it before. I'll briefly touch on that. Why it's a really great tool to use for appointment scheduling. We're going to help you set up your appointment calendar. You can also customize this calendar so it doesn't look like everybody else's. Although there is a level of trust that you want to convey with your calendar so that people aren't questioning, is this something that's really going to work or not? We'll show you how to integrate it into your website and how to use the actual tool to be leveraged for tracking and analyzing these appointments that are being set. So here it is. What is High Level? It's a CRM, and it's an affordable CRM. It's now more widely accepted among advertising and marketing agencies because it can be white labeled or it can be branded to the agency. So it can appear as if the agency developed the software themselves. And it's also out of the box capable for any small business to use as their main customer communication tool. It's also a website. So that's a really nice thing about this is that it can not just only build landing pages and funnels, but it can act as your website. So you can end up integrating or migrating whatever website you may have now into the high level platform. If it works well for you, allowing you to save even more money as a business who, keeps close track on what they spend in there. We're going to go over the appointment booking features today to hopefully share with you what everybody's talking about. Why is high level being more widely accepted among marketing companies? And then we'll touch on pipelines or web flows, which will be our topic in January. Right now, we're holding these meetings once every 2 months. We might hold them more frequently. We've got a few people here in the boardroom today, and if they've got a topic that they want to present to the group, we're definitely opening up our meeting schedule for people that want to share great insights. So why use GHL for your appointment scheduling? Well, because it can reduce human error. When somebody calls a human to set up an appointment, that human has to check both calendars for both people to see if it's going to be, an available time slot for both people to meet. Well, this tool is automated, so obviously the person setting the appointment knows what time they have available, and the person running the appointment has blocked out times in their calendar that allow them to have an automated appointment booked. But let's say that person running the appointment has a conflicting event that's not a regular event. Well, then high level won't allow that user to book an appointment during that time. So it communicates really well with the calendar that you're already using. It's very flexible. It allows you to reschedule. There's this interactive component that allows you to remind the user that they have an upcoming appointment. That's really helpful because a lot of times when you're running these offers and people instinctually or reactively sign up for an appointment, they might not have actually booked it in their own calendar. So reminding them is really helpful. And then, of course, every business wants to track how effective their sales force is being. This is a quick look at what setting up that calendar looks like. The dates in the calendar are illuminated that are available, and then the time slots that are available are shown to the right. And all the user has to do is click on the time spot that they want to book with you. The calendar is also customizable. You can brand it, and you can set up the notifications that it sends you. When somebody books an appointment, you get a notification. When you have an appointment coming up, you can customize the notifications that you need sent to you to give yourself enough time to prepare for that appointment. And if this is a paid appointment, it allows you to accept payments as well. This is so beautiful that it integrates with the high-level website or with your own WordPress website. And these are a few examples where that calendar will show up right on the page of your website. You can make it its own landing page, so you can summarize the appointment and what it's about. And then you can also program the calendar booking software to pop up after somebody's maybe spent 2 minutes on a service page. Let's say you're selling, high-end exterior finishes, and somebody has looked at pools and patios and gazebos for over 5 minutes. That might be a good time to, pop up an appointment booking prompt for that person, and you can program that in. The great part about having everything under one roof with high level is that you can track each user and what they did so that you can increase the number of appointments that you're booking. And these tracking tools are baked right into the main dashboard for high level, and it gives business owners and business leaders a lot more information so that they can make better decisions about their sales force and their marketing. So we want you to get involved. This was your overview, but the real value is coming here in person and meeting everybody here in the room, making those contacts, asking questions, learning what other people have done with this tool to improve the acquisition costs per lead. And that's really what we want in the sales force, is to generate warm, qualified leads for our people. And this is a room full of people that have tons of experience creating leads for the companies that they work for, even if that had been their own company. So this is the meeting that we've got coming up on January 5th, the wonders of the workflow. And beyond the booking calendar, this workflow allows you to imagine yourself, what is the ideal customer journey in becoming a new customer? And this allows you to lay that out, whether it be in the form of sequential emails, text messages, phone calls, display marketing or advertising, wherever they might be, reminders, and offers. And that workflow might be different for each product or each service that you sell. And there is an audience for every product and every service. And that's why automating it with a workflow is so important, because the one thing that is predictable is that human nature is unpredictable. But computer programs and computer software tools like High Level allow us to make sure that every customer has the same experience, and it allows us to improve or optimize that experience each step along the way. So thanks for joining us for this presentation. I'm going to introduce your next speaker, who's going to bring you right into the High Level dashboard to show you everything you need to know about appointment booking calendars. Please help me welcome your next speaker, Paritosh Parikh. Thanks, Barry.
Hey, Anthony, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I know you made a long trip to get here.
Thank you.
Looking forward to your
presentation. Thanks. Hi, everyone. Oh, I'll put this down because maybe I'll end up, dabbling the stocks of Pepsi, though I'm no Ronaldo. All right. So very quickly, let me just, quickly introduce myself. My name is Paritosh Parikh. You can easily call me Perry as in Perry Mason, right? If that helps you, because that has certainly helped a lot of people in, pronouncing my name. All right. So I am an agency owner, right? A marketer, a website developer by heart. I own a couple of agencies, as you can see on the screen. So yeah, without any further ado, let's dig deep on, the Go High Level calendars or calendars in general, right? So why it is important to have calendar. Now, many of you will think that, why is it even on the slide? Why do we need to know? We already know what the importance is, but I can assure you that, there are a lot of businesses, a lot of individuals, right, who do not understand the importance of having calendars, right? Or booking calendars per se. So that's why I'm having this slide. In order to kind of take control of your time, your productivity, and the best of it that I really love, get rid of some of those spam, right? It is better to have those calendars. Calendars enable you to manage your day. Calendars enables you to be way more productive than you actually are. Calendar allows you to know what you're getting into beforehand. Otherwise, this was me, in maybe 2012 or something, that, getting on a call, having no clue what the call is about, what I need to talk about, what kind of questions I can expect, right? So having calendars is a bliss. Now, having calendars in GHL is the biggest bliss. I personally love GHL for one reason, which is first, Go High Level has got everything under one roof. Second thing, it doesn't restrict you or ask you to change your paid plans. if you need to add one more calendar, or if you need to add a workflow, or if you need to add a SMS notification or a text notification or email notification, right? So basically, when you pay these different softwares, you have to upgrade your plans in order to get those different feature sets in the calendars or the booking calendars, whatever we are calling it these days. All right. So we'll start with benefits of having automated booking calendars. As you can see, it says improved efficiency, 24/7 availability, best part. So while you're sleeping, your calendar can still take your bookings, accept payments, and get the things going. But it only lets you get on the calls as per the availability hours that you set. Obviously, enhanced customer experience. For example, somebody can get on a call with you, but they get to choose what time they want to get on it, and there is no a ton of back and forth. Are you available during this time? Are you available on Friday afternoon, before noon? Right, that it cuts through that chase. Increased productivity, as I have said, that this is something that I have personally experienced, right? And it's a great thing. Next would be, better lead management, of course, boosted conversion rates if you're accepting payments on, your booking calendars, or if you're selling services like a nail spa or a spa, or any other service where you accept payments. Even, I mean, I know a couple of my agency partners, who take discovery call and they charge like $97 or 197 or something on that scale, right? Next is the scalability. Of course, you can, I mean, I'll be explaining to you in detail the scalability part, but the thing is that you can have your whole team on it, your whole sales team, support team, operations, whatever you're doing, right? So you can have it, the bookings going to different people in your team, different groups on your team. For example, let's say there are some customers of ours who only need support, there are people who need billing help, right? So you can go the department wise as well, and different staff members or team members, whatever you are looking for. It gets you brilliant data and insights, right? That generally, I mean, I remember digging this deep, that generally, what are the days when we are getting the most bookings? Generally, what are the days where we get on a particular service we get booked for? So brilliant insights that you can use. It really makes you look professional, which is important, right? I mean, some people call it make it till you fake it, some people call it that it's an operational efficiency. So whatever it is, right, it makes you look professional. Cost savings, big part. Go high level brings you everything under one roof. So let's say if you're going for the $97 a month plan, you get stuff worth, I think, more than $900 a month. Booking calendar itself, I mean, if you go for Calendly, Equity, scheduling, or book like a boss, any of those tools, or if you have something else that you are using currently, I'm pretty sure you're paying at least around $20 to $40 a month on that, right? But you're not getting everything, you're just getting the calendars. With GHL, you pay $97 a month and you get a ton of lot more than calendars, right? So let's go ahead. And how I messed up. So these are two really important pictures. The picture on the right, as you can see, the girl who is sad, right? I used to be that in 2012, 2013. Obviously, before GHL came, right, I used different calendar applications. So I was working so hard to get all these bookings, people booking my time, right? People getting on consulting calls with me. But then the worst part was that when it actually happened, I remember I presented at an event, and then people wanted to schedule with me. I was having a hard time scheduling calls with them because I was doing the email back and forth, right? And it was a nightmare, right? But then comes the tools like Calendly, Equity, and finally GHL, and I got to be the guy on the left. All right. So why go high level? As I said, it that not only the calendars. We are currently talking about calendars, but it talks about you can have unlimited websites, unlimited funnels on this, CRM and pipeline, as Anthony said. Then workflow automation, brilliant. The next stay tuned for the January session, because the wonders of workflow. It's a brilliant session, and workflow is something that that can really make or break the game. Then the reputation management, it has surveys and forms, email marketing, SMS marketing, and you can white label the whole thing, right? Now, I know this is a big thing for agencies, but even, sometimes there are business owners like me that, even if they get something for just themselves, they still want to customize it. Their color schemes, their logos, so that, the customers get a feel of that as if they're using a custom software. And everything that I mentioned, or even I forgot to mention, right, are for one price under one roof, right? Nothing beats that. Here is a glimpse of what the calendar booking and creating kind of looks like. And post this, I think the only thing left is let's do it together. All right, so I'll just share my screen that we can go about it. Let's see, assuming I haven't closed it. So we are looking at a currently live dashboard of one of our products, right? So let's go to straight away to the calendars. So this is what the calendar screen at once, when you log into your GHL or go high level, right? I'll be using GHL. GHL basically means go high level if somebody doesn't know that. So we'll be going to this screen first, right? Now this one already has one calendar of mine, or so let's go directly to the calendar settings and let's get this going. So the glimpse screen that you saw, right, was this one. The most important part is this calendar types, right? What are the different types of calendars which are there, right? And which one is right for you? So let's look at, we are currently looking at 6 options. 2 comes when you click on the explore more types, but there are basically 4. The personal booking one is the simplest one, right, that you go for. Let's say if I'm trying to have a booking calendar just for myself, right, and it's just a consulting call, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, personal Zoom details, personal Google Meet details, any software can get integrated, right? So then you generally go for personal booking, and it gives you a small description so that you don't have to guess. You know exactly what you are getting yourselves into. Just like on the personal booking, it says schedules one-on-one meetings with a specific team member. Just like I said for myself, am I putting it under my signatures or whatever that is. Next would be the round robin. So let's say there is me, John, and Anthony on the team, right? And we want to make sure that everybody has their fair share of bookings which are stepping into the organization. So let's say if you're a digital marketing agency, people are booking calls with us, the consulting calls with us. So the first one will come to me, second one will go to Anthony, third one will go to Jane, and exactly it'll keep on moving, just like how the round robin thing is. Then comes the class booking. Now the class booking, as it suggests, it's 1 hour of your time, but different people can book it, right? Just like a class. So you can go for that. Collective booking is something, let me make an example and make you understand what collective booking is. So let's say maybe a terrible example, but you'll understand what I'm saying. So let's say if there is an exit interview, right, and the employee needs to schedule an exit interview. So while he's doing that, he will need the HR sitting in that, he will need the IT sitting in that, and maybe a couple of more departments. So what collective booking is, that when you set it up and somebody books it, all the relevant departments or relevant persons from different departments will get that email that Anthony has booked this, and you need to get on that call or meeting or whatever that is, right? Then comes the service booking for nail spa, med spa, any of those kind of services. And then the events calendar. Let's say if you're going for a webinar or a physical event, just like this one that we are having here, right, you can use the event calendars. So let's get going. First things, you need to have on the left hand side, as you can see where the cursor is, my staff, right? So you need to have staff members in your GHL so that they can be added. Let me just quickly try to add myself, right? Okay, it's saying something. Got it. That's not my numbers. Just in case if you want to call, you can book a calendar. You can book an appointment on my calendar. I'll share the link, right? And then I'll go for this. You have to cut me some slack, guys, because I guess the IT world is getting really advanced and we need to have too many prerequisites to kind of take care of. So let's say over here, I'm just roles and permissions, just go for everything and just click and save. Okay, a user with already exists. All right, let's go back to calendars again and let's start by creating a calendar. So let's go for the personal booking one first, right? So let's say I'm going for consult with the CMO, right? And I am selecting for, just for the sake of it, right? I'm selecting Anthony Pritchard for this. Now I want to have a custom URL for this. So I'm just going for CMO, which is taken. So let's go for WPS CMO, right? Or maybe, right, schedule with CMO, right? The meeting duration would be off. You can change the duration from here. I'll go for 1 hour. And the booking availability, important part, that of course the CMO can be available, but he's not available on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and of course not over the weekend, right? So he's generally available from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. as you can see. Now, this toggle button that you're seeing, right? You can choose whether you want to accept payments for this or not. Now, let's say if this is a call that generally, this is a link that you send to people after your webinar, for example, like this one, and you offer something for, let's say, book a call with me for $97, and I'll audit the your or whatever your marketing plan is currently going on, right? So if you do that, you can simply go for this. You can set the amount, let's say $9,000 for my 1 hour. Till the time we have it, we can do whatever we want, right? So no, let's make it 10,000. All right, that makes me happy. At least while I'm setting it up, right? It really takes a ton of effort to sell that. And then there are advanced settings as well, right? That you can go into, or you can simply just save it. And later on, when you'll click on it, you'll come onto this screen. So now just imagine that you are creating a Calendly calendar, right? So when you get into it, it asks you to set the calendar up, right? So if you have a graphic that you want to upload, right, you can go ahead and do that. Let me see if I have something handy, any picture or anything. No, I don't. All right. So we'll refrain from this right now, but basically you can upload any text graphic that you, any picture or any graphic that you want to, upload to the calendar. Let me just upload any random screenshot if that helps. Okay, let's go for this one only. Pretty bad image to upload, but yeah, this is what I have right now. So widget shape would be like this. Consult with the CMO. So you can just put in some description that kind of explains that, what this is about. You will get your marketing plan audited quickly with an expert, right? Then comes the groups, right? I'll come on to the groups later, because otherwise it will confuse you, since we are booking for the one-on-one right now, right? Then obviously we had the custom URL, the schedule with CMO. Meeting invite title would be the contact name. You can choose, different custom tags from here, right? Let's say I want to go for contact and stuff like that. Team member is Anthony. So what that means is that Anthony will receive the notifications, right, when somebody books as the CMO. You can choose that, how this booking comes up on the calendar in the red color or orange or, yellow, maybe, whatever that is. I know some people might be saying that, that's a fuchsia pink or, that kind of details. I do not know that. My apologies for not knowing colors that better. All right, very quickly, let's move on to availability. Very important part. When I said 24/7 availability, the availability is for the calendar to be present so that somebody can book, not for a person to be 24/7 available, right? And that's exactly what we are doing here. So as I said, the CMO is not available on Tuesdays and Thursdays, only Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8 to 5, right? Wow, look busy, right? So if you want to look busy, there's a toggle that you can use. And as you can say, you can hide a percentage of your available slots. And then there are recurring meetings as well, right? I'm not using this one right now. So meeting intervals is, as you can see, meeting interval reflects the amount of time between the booking slots. So somebody book an appointment with me at 8 a.m., right? So that since it's a 1 hour meeting, 8 to 9 is booked with the person who booked it, right? Now for the next meeting, right, it will leave 30 minutes. Since 30 minutes is here, right, you can go for an hour, right? And then it will take, so for example, there are 8 hours in total. It'll only take 4 appointments for that day, because you are leaving a meeting interval of 1 hour. Meeting duration is 1 hour. Minimum scheduling notice 2 days. So basically I open the calendar at night, right? And I booked it for right in the morning. So I don't, the CMO or Anthony doesn't have the heads up when he wakes up at 5 in the morning that, he need to attend a call at right at 8, because obviously you need that heads up before you do that. So this is exactly what you're doing, that giving a 2 days of notice, right? That people, let's say if they're booking on the 1st of November, right? So they will only see the available dates on 3rd of November to book, right? So that when you book it today, it gives the presenter enough time to, have known that, there is a presentation that he needs to give. Date range, again, something that, if you want to exclude some dates, or, there are certain days or certain dates that you want to include in, that you're only available for example, after an event or something like that. Maximum booking per day. So I'll go for 4 or maybe 3, right? Because obviously auditing is going to take a ton of time. Maximum bookings per slot per user, right? So how many bookings a person who is booking can actually go for? This is what it is. Pre-buffer time, post-buffer time. I think you can go for the buffer times if you do not go for the meeting intervals, but you can, let's say, go for 30 minutes, and post-buffer is 30 minutes. We can go this to 0 hours, if that makes sense. We do not need this. Let's just go for 10 minutes, right? So that's your availability. Now comes to forms and payment, right? So now, if, as you knew, that I charge $10,000 for a 1 hour consultation call, right? So how will I accept that? So what you do for that is that you go and create a form in the website section, in the site section in GHL, and you prepare an advanced form that, you want to get on the name, email, phone number, and, you integrate your Stripe in the integrations tab over here so that you can accept those payments. And this form is about that, which form you want to choose and what happens after the payment is made or after the booking is made, right? So you just select the form from here. So let's say I'm going with 10 minutes one-on-one with Anthony, right? Then the widget order, date and time selected, the form will come next. Can they add guests, right? So for example, if I am booking time with Anthony, I would generally like to have one of my staff members on that call so that, they can give inputs when Anthony asks something specifically that I might not be knowing because I'm not good at it, maybe, or my team is better at it. All right. Once that is done, so we are going to allow guests, and then it says name and email, right? And send custom form to guests. No, that's not needed because you do not want the guest to pay as well, right? Then comes the confirmation page. There are two options. One is either you can just display a message that, thank you for booking the appointment and you will receive an email shortly, or you can redirect them to another URL. For example, after booking, let's say if you want to tell them that what to expect or be prepared with, have a notebook, or, just be prepared with these numbers, have access to analytics, make sure your website admin has access, or you have access to Looker Studio, stuff like that, right? So you can redirect them to a page as well. Now, it is important that if you're advertising, right, on Facebook, so it is important to count that conversion. Now, how do you do that? When an appointment is booked, it is worth, let's say, $97 or whatever that is, right? But in order for Facebook to count that as a conversion, right, you can input the Facebook pixel ID here, and it is optional. So if you're not doing any advertising for call bookings, this is absolutely okay. You can leave it empty. Then auto confirms the new calendar meetings. Then the payment, as I said, wow, I really like this number. Okay, and then you can simply go for, the notifications and additional options which are there, right? And you can go for all, you can choose all these options that, whether you allow the reschedule of meetings or not, whether you allow the cancellation of meeting or not. Because, generally when it's paid, I mean, you can go for free. Generally, people for the first discovery calls, they go for free. But I just wanted to let you know that, there are the options to accept payments, right? If you are somebody like that, you are a lawyer and you want to give out that 1 hour of advice of yours, not for free, or if you're a nail spa, med spa, uh, a high-end digital marketing agency that, just not available for free of cost. So yeah, so that's all. Then you can go to the customizations part as well. You can choose the colors, right? It gives you two modes. The Neo is the newer one that JHL came up with, and Classic was the good old one, right? So I'll go with Classic for now. And my primary color, I'm going to change it to, let's say, red. Yeah.
That's
And
more fuchsia.
I mean, if you're charging $10,000, that is danger, right? So the color kind of goes with that, right? And here you can preview the widget. Let's preview it, right? That how it's looking like. So this is how it's looking like. This is what the red thing means. Let me just quickly save it before I forget. So this is what you will or your users will see while booking that, right? So now since we are on this date, as you can see, 22nd, the Tuesdays and Thursdays are not available. So are the weekends, right? You can simply click on the date and then you can choose from this time. Let's say I chose 8:30 a.m. Then I selected, and now the best part, it'll ask you for money over here. All right, so it's a 60-minute call, right? This is what the widget looks like. And the good part is you can use the link that you're going to get from the calendar itself. Or if you're somebody like me that who likes all the customization stuff, you can embed the same thing on your website, right? Just like Calendly, it'll populate an embed code and you can just copy and paste it on your website. If you're in WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, anything that you're using, right? Everything nowadays allows you to embed HTML code. So it will be an HTML code that you can embed whenever or wherever you're using, right? Let's go back to, as you can see, the consult with the CMO is there. So when you click on this, right, you'll click on share, and the sharing thing will show you that either you can use this link, right, which is pretty white labeled. It's just a one-time link that you want to send someone, and the third option is embed code. So you just simply copy this code as you're seeing. I hate when Apple does that. All right, so you can just simply select it and copy, or you can oh wow, how dumb I am. You can just copy it by clicking on copy and paste it wherever you want the calendar to appear, right? Now the most important part is that we are just going to touch a little bit, because in January 2025, as Anthony said, we will be covering all that workflow automations in detail. But how it generally works is that you go and set up a workflow by the name of consult with CMO, let's say for the organizational purposes, and you say that the trigger is when somebody books an appointment on this calendar, which is consult with CMO. It will give you a drop down list, right? How you do that, let me just quickly show you that, rather than you imagining what would that look like. All right, let's go back. And where's there it is, automation, right? So you go on that, you create a workflow. You can go for select a recipe. I generally go for select from scratch because there are too many customizations that I do, right? And then you go for, there it is, the recipe, right? The appointment confirmation, reminder, survey, and review request. This is the least that anybody would need, right? So when you do that, right, you get something like this. Let me just scroll it down for you so that you can look at it all, right? Let's go to the top. So the important part, or the reason I personally love GHL the most, GHL has got the best of the possible triggers. Trigger is something that, when this happens, then you do this. So when this happens, right, if that list is limited, right, there are not much options you can do, right? But that is why we are calling the next session the wonders of workflow, or workflow wonders, because GHL has got the best and the most amazing amount of triggers. Let's quickly take a look at it. So as you can see, it says the appointment status, the workflow trigger name. This is just a label. You can change it to whatever you want. Event type is normal. Appointment status is confirmed. And I'm going to add one more, in calendar, right? So as you can see, this was normal. Now I need to add a filter in calendar, consult with the CMO. So now what it says is that whenever somebody books an appointment on consult with CMO calendar, that's when this workflow will get triggered, right? And then I just simply click on the trigger. So the moment somebody will do that, they'll receive a confirmation email, just like how we all have received, right? And this is what they're going to receive. Hey, contact first name, which is the tag. You can choose different tag or custom values from here, right? And your appointment has been confirmed. If this time does not work, please let us know, blah, 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 right? Now, the good part, another thing that I love about GHL, right? 24 hours before the appointment. Trust me, if you have spent some time with, all these other softwares, what we are doing right now, it is so much more difficult, literally pain in the behind, to get these things done, right? You literally have to think so much, it will become so hard after a point that you'll say that okay, no reminders, I'll just go with simple confirmation email. Now if they show up, they show up. Now do you want to do that? You have spent so much of time, energy, maybe money in the ads, right, to get this one call. Now do you want to leave it to the destiny whether they show up or not? At least you can try the best you can to make sure they show up. This is what we are doing here. So you will send them a time gap that 24 hours before the appointment, send them a reminder email and a SMS or a text as well, right? Now 1 hour before the appointment, you sell them you send them 1 hour reminder email and the text as well. Then after 1 hour, internal notification that somebody to click the trigger link. I mean, this is complex. Let's not get into it. But basically, what it says is that if somebody clicks on it, it's a show. If they didn't, it's a no show, right? Because there can be another workflow for the no shows, because that will happen. We have reduced the number of spam, but people are still busy, right? They might end up booking time on your calendar, but they still might not show up, right? So that's what this is for, so that we can trigger them, put them in a different workflow, which is for the no show, so that we can put them on a sequence, which is like that, hey, we really missed you, and we are assuming that you had some emergency came up, so here is a link to kind of reschedule or book a new appointment, or if you want somebody to get in touch with over email or something like that, right? So very quickly, we'll now just go back. Yes, I do not want the changes to be saved. Let's go back to calendar settings, and here we are. Now groups are something. Let's do that. So I created this group sales team, right? So groups and service menus are something kind of similar and not similar at the same time. Groups does such a good job that generally you don't need the service menus, but this is just my opinion. You can test it out all you want. So let's take an example of a nail spa, right? I'm just making this stuff up, guys. You can look at my nails. It's pretty simply cut with the normal clipper, right? So I have no idea what these is about. All the ladies joining us on the internet and in the room as well, my sincere apologies right in advance that I know nothing about nails, right? So let's say there are two things, of course, manicure, pedicure, but even within that, they have details like Russian nails or Chinese nails, or maybe some other kind of Canadian nails. I'm just making this up, right? So and so there are some people that I want to get my hair cut, but on that date, but with only that particular person who has been doing it from past 5 years, right? So that's what exactly groups does. So what it does is that when a nail spa is having a calendar, right, they wanted to have all the services that they provide. For example, the manicures, the pedicures. So what the groups here does is that it creates a group. So you create different calendars. Let's say one calendar is for manicure, one is for pedicure, right? One is for facials. See how hard it is for me to kind of even come up with those things. So manicure, pedicure, facials, right? We are not adding anything fourth on top of it. So now let's say somebody goes to the nailspa.com and they see a calendar. Now the, the spa will, or the salon will make them choose between the services first, that whether you want to go for the manicure, pedicure, or the facial. Yeah, that's right. I mean, they can go for all four and we can choose the fourth one. But I mean, I'm just restricting to these three, and you have to get it done, either one of them at any given point of time, because of my limited knowledge, nothing else. So you go and create a calendar. Sorry, my bad. Hey. Right. So you go for this and you end up creating a new calendar group, right? So for in my case, I created the sales team, template is classic, and sales WPS is the group URL, right? So let's save it and let's go back to the calendars. Again, the consult with CMO. You saw this earlier, but I kind of left it for us to discuss in detail later. Can you see this group, right? So you just click on the drop down and you can select this calendar. So let's assume that this is the manicure calendar. So you can make it to be visible in sales team, right? And just save it. Now there is one more calendar for pedicure and one more for facial. You go ahead and choose the group that, this will be shown in that calendar group as well. So what happens is that when you go back and choose the URL for the group, right, you get to choose these services. Let's take a look at the group. When you click on, I call them three dots. If you call them something else, that's on you. So I just click the scheduling link, right? And let's just open it in a new tab. So as you can see, this is the sales team calendar. It's the sales WPS, right? WPS. So this is the manicure. There will come a pedicure and the facial as well. So then you just click on it, right? This was the filthy image that I selected, but you can choose the right ones, and then you can simply choose the date and the calendars, the time, select, go ahead and make the payment for $10,000 of nail salon. God knows if they're painting it in gold or maybe dipping me in gold for $10,000. But anyways, you got the gist of, what exactly we are trying to do here. So with that said, that was the basic setup, right? If you want to know more about, the round robins, right, or the class calendars, you can get in touch with us. We are more than happy to, even explain it just for you, right, so that you can do that. And to be honest, if you're an agency, you probably are already feeling that, why are we into this presentation? But this is more for the people who do not know about GHL or do not know how to act into it, right, or get things configured correctly. So you can just get in and get in touch with us. We can help you with that. More than happy to do that. Or you can just, buy the GHL, get inside and get it done. Trust your instincts. You are way more intelligent than you can think. And on top of everything, we are here to help. And even on top of that, because I'm pretty sure there must be some people, who want to do it all themselves. GHL provides you with such a brilliant support and documentation that you probably don't need anything else. You can just go read, even watch videos. That's the best part. And if not, you can just simply get on a Zoom support with them and then help you right then and there. So I guess with that said, that's all that I've got. If you have any questions or anything else, we can go on with that. Otherwise, thank you for listening to this. And I'm pretty sure that GHL is really going to be helpful if you're a business owner, if you're an agency owner, if you're just like somebody like me who is just trying to put his life back on track, having an organization. GHL will be a bliss, guys. Thank you so much for having me, Anthony, and all the people. Thank you so much for listening to this. Thanks.